Good afternoon and welcome to the Healthy Habits webinar series, which is taking place every other Thursday from June 17th through September 23rd from 12 to 12:50 p.m. We are so excited to have you all with us today and so pleased with the turnout. We're expecting over 500 participants on the webinar today. I'm Julie Chabdi, Health and Wellbeing Program Manager in the Center for Work and Family Life. And it's my pleasure to spend the next 50 minutes with all of you. And this is the first time we are hosting this live from the USC campus. So just a few housekeeping items. We would love to invite you all to stand if you're able to and stretch anytime during this presentation. So feel free to get up, move around, shake it out, and stretch. Your audio is muted to minimize background noise until we open it up for Q&A. But feel free to use the chat function anytime or the Q&A function, and our presenters will assist in responding. This webinar is being recorded and will be archived for sharing on the Healthy Habits webpage that you use to register for this series. So the current pandemic has disrupted our lives in so many ways, and all of us faculty and staff have spent the last year and more adjusting to a new norm of working, learning, and living at home. We understand and acknowledge that this has been a difficult and ever-changing time for all of us. With the return to on-campus activities this fall, many of you are faced with emerging challenges to maintain your current work and personal life routines, your healthy habits, schedules, and environments. So whether you will be or have returned this fall, starting that transition, working a hybrid schedule, a remote schedule, or been on campus this entire time, we want to provide you with information and motivation to create and maintain healthy habits. So the series aims to support the health and well-being of our campus community by providing strategies and resources to help you navigate through the transition and recovery of pandemic life, and to continue or establish healthy habits that will last a lifetime. So here's our look at our 8-session webinar series. Today's session is on healthy food and fitness on campus, and we hope you'll join the other sessions as well. So let's get started with today's topic, healthy food and fitness on campus. Now that a lot of us are back on campus, where can we go to find healthy options? And how can we ensure that we get movement in during the time we have here? So hopefully you're all eating a healthy lunch or a healthy snack, and we'll go ahead and get started with the introduction of our presenters. So it is my pleasure to introduce Lindsay Pine, registered dietitian with USC Hospitality, David Pachun, membership sales and services coordinator, recreation sports, Corinne Muldrum, fitness coordinator, recreation sports, and Tommy Mavritsakis, fitness specialist, recreation sports. I'm honored to introduce Lindsay Pine.
All right. Hi, everyone. Since many of us are back on campus, I will be talking about some of the healthier food options from USC Hospitality. I've done a couple of healthy eating at home presentations through the Center for Work and Family Life, as well as staff assembly this year. So if you're still working at home and would like more information on that topic, the link to those presentations will be in the chat box. The staff assembly presentation I did a few months back that's going to be the longer, more comprehensive presentation because the topic was only nutrition, while the other presentation had a panel of different topics. Next slide, please. So I know a lot of you have the same question. Why don't we post nutritional information on our website? Well, nutrition information doesn't just come out of thin air, and all of those bullet points listed here are the many factors that come into play. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret and tell you that most restaurant nutrition info is not that accurate. And let me tell you why. Before I became a dietitian, I worked in restaurant kitchens for many years. And honestly, it's very rare that a cook will actually follow the recipe to a T. In the end, they want the food to taste good for the customer. So if they're while they're cooking it, they'll taste it. They might add a little more salt, a little more butter or oil, where the more than what the recipe calls for. And if you are following a lower sodium diet and a restaurant displays sodium info, that's probably the number one number that will probably never be accurate, unfortunately. Also, vendors don't always have the product that your recipe calls for. So ingredient substitutions are also very common, and that will change the nutritional information as well. Especially right now with COVID, it has really affected the supply chain, and we're getting shorted on product and receiving many substitutions. So if you do use nutrition facts for various restaurants, definitely use them as a loose guideline. But with all that being said, I am working on getting this information available because I know people want it. Residential dining will be the first to come online because all of their recipes are in our management software. So that's coming soon. For the retail cafes, my priority right now is to label that new campus dining app with vegan and vegetarian designations, as well as some allergens like gluten, peanuts, and nuts. So then after that, I will move on to our cafes that use the menu management software and have standardized recipes to work on that nutritional information. But since Panda Express, Starbucks, and Coffee Bean are all franchises, their nutrition information is found on their respective company websites. But I really want to encourage you all to stop thinking about food just in terms of numbers. Those numbers don't tell you the healthfulness of food. Just because something is low in calories, it doesn't mean that it's the most healthful option. So I really challenge you to start thinking about food in a more holistic and balanced way, starting with how to balance your plate. Next slide, please. So I personally don't count calories, and I use the balanced plate approach. So basically, you can make half your plate full of non-starchy veggies, a quarter grains or starch, and then preferably whole grains when possible, and then a quarter protein. So whether that's animal or plant protein. If you ask me what the number one thing you can do on your plate to have a positive impact on your health, I would say veggies. Add more veggies, and I can't stress that enough. Next slide, please. So then from there, we'll add in some nuances such as fruits. And I want to mention that frozen fruit is just as nutritious as fresh. We want to see heart-healthy fats, especially olive oil. And then also be sure to add calcium-rich foods. And if you don't eat dairy, no problem. There's lots of other foods that do contain calcium, things like broccoli, oranges, almonds, tofu, just to name a few. And then also we want to think about foods that are good for our gut health. And that would consist of foods with probiotics. Probiotics are basically just the good bacteria. So you might find that in Greek yogurt, for example. And then prebiotics, which are the fibrous that feed that good bacteria. And of course, just as important as the food, there are other components we want to think about too, like stress reduction, consistent fitness that you enjoy, social connections, and of course, sleep. Next slide. Okay, so let's actually get into some of these options across campus here. Let's start with Seeds Marketplace. They have some really nice options, including the roasted salmon that comes with steamed quinoa and veggies. If you're vegan, even if you're not vegan, the Cafe Gratitude grab-and-go plant-based items are very tasty and they're packed with veggies. They're also made-to-order salads, which you can customize. There's grab-and-go sushi made with brown rice. And of course, some healthy snacks are available. And on this list, you'll notice that I mentioned pistachios in the shell. I say that because eating them that way will slow you down and you'll end up eating less than if they were shelled pistachios. Also in the back of Seeds, which you might have noticed, they have some Mediterranean items like hummus, olives, dolmas, and baba ganoush, which is just the eggplant dip. And these items are full of healthy fats, vegetables, and also chickpeas. Panda Express, you know, they surprisingly have some really solid options there. All of their nutrition info is on the Panda Express corporate website if you want to look that up. And they have tagged their entrees that are less than 300 calories and at least 8 grams of protein as Walk Smart. So you'll see a little green icon there for those items on their website. And we actually do have some of those items on a regular basis at our Panda Express. The mushroom chicken, the string bean chicken, broccoli beef, those are all Walk Smart items. And then as your side, choose the super greens instead of things like chow mein or fried rice. And then of course, they always have brown rice, which you can choose instead of white rice so you can get more nutrients and fiber. One of our new concepts is called Burger Crush, and you might be surprised to hear me say that a burger can fit into an overall balanced diet every once in a while. You can try turning that beef burger, veggie burger, or grilled chicken sandwich into a lettuce wrap. You can minimize the add-ons like aioli and cheese to make a healthier burger. And then of course, a side salad is going to be the clear winner versus French fries or onion rings. Next slide. Okay, so moving on to Verde. This is our build your own burrito concept, but I suggest that you build yourself a burrito bowl or the street tacos instead of the burrito. So when you're building your bowl, you can choose whole beans instead of the refried. You can choose brown rice instead of white rice. And then instead of cheese and sour cream, go for the guacamole. Guacamole is full of healthy fats. And fun fact about avocados is they're actually, they contain fiber in them as well as a lot of other vitamins and minerals. So gotta love avocados. We have another new concept where CPK used to be over at the campus center. It's called the kitchen. It's currently closed right now, but it will be opening back up soon. And during this closure, they are redoing the menu a little bit, but the options here will still be around when they do reopen. One of them that I like is the chicken shawarma, which is basically just skinless, boneless chicken that's marinated in spices and lemon. So it's a really good lean protein option. Also, they have baked fish or the quarter of a rotisserie chicken. And if you visited Seeds in past years, this is the same chicken that was over at Seeds. And I love that they're offering a quarter chicken option and not just the half chicken option.
Can Julie add me as a host?
Because the half chicken is such a large portion. So that's great. They're offering the quarter size. And these sides are amazing too. They're being offered with the proteins as well. There's a great vegan pasta primavera with hummus. Sorry, my office mate's phone is ringing right now. That pasta primavera with hummus, if you've never tried pasta with hummus as part of the sauce, it's very, very tasty. Next slide, please. Okay, so C&G Juice actually used to be over at the School of Architecture, but now it's located at the campus center where Coffee Bean used to be. And they sell acai bowls, smoothies, and juices. Acai bowls, it's definitely one of those foods that have a huge health halo around them. So to make them healthier, you'll definitely need to do some customization. And I just want to mention a disclaimer about customizing here. We do have a brand new campus dining app. Customization is a bit limited on there. We will be examining the overall guest experience of using the app. And so in the future, you may be able to make some additional tweaks. But for now, you can build your own bowl on the app. But if you want to make a few specific changes, you will need to order at the window. And I did confirm with the manager, he said that you can do that. So to lower the calories and sugar in those acai bowls, I definitely recommend asking for no agave because they do blend that acai with agave. And then ask for either no granola or half the granola because there is quite a bit of granola on there. And those, those calories can really add up. So you can also add some healthy add-ins that are available like spinach, kale, cacao nibs, chia seeds, and flax seeds as well. And all of those add-ins, they do have those available on the app. For the smoothies, I'm happy to say that all the smoothies at C&G Juice are under 400 calories, except for one of them. which is great when you compare to other smoothie establishments out there in the world. They have some that are much, much higher in calories and sugar. And for the juices, choose those veggie heavy options. And those options will be the Mother Nature and the Veggie Splash. Next slide, please. Okay, so now moving on to what we call Hospitality East. Now, these spots are over by the law school and the business school. So with Fertitta Cafe and Law School Cafe, you can see a trend here. So basically, to make a healthier salad, omit those fried crunchies and go light on the dressing. For the bowls, you can ask for less rice, more veggies, and then ask them to go light on the sauce or even omit that extra sauce that they might drizzle on the top. Over at Popovich, they have a nice mango kale acai smoothie that's made with unsweetened almond milk. And their acai bowls are not blended with agave. So all you need to do is just to ask to omit or lessen the amount of granola that goes on top to make it just a little bit healthier. Next slide. So Starbucks over at Trojan Grounds actually has a lot of food options. I'm not going to spend too much time on this handout because it is located on the hospitality website on the dietitian page. I believe Suzanne's going to put that link into the chat box so you can take a look at it on your own. But just know that Starbucks does have a number of good options, both for breakfast and for lunch. Next slide. Okay. You know, one thing we don't have a shortage on across campus is coffee. We have coffee everywhere. And coffee itself actually has a lot of antioxidants in it, but it's when we start adding in all those extras like creamers and sweeteners is where we can go astray. So my recommendation is to opt for plain coffee or tea whenever possible, instead of those frappuccinos and the sweet drinks like mochas. Limit the amount of sweetener you add to your coffee and tea, and that also includes artificial sweeteners, not just the regular stuff too. And try using less and less each time until you don't have any in your drink, or you've retrained your taste buds to enjoy just that touch of sweetness. When ordering one of those sweet dessert drinks like the caramel macchiato or mocha, order the smaller version instead of the large. And just something you know, good for you to know is that the maximum amount of added sugars recommended by the American Heart Association is actually 36 grams for men, 25 grams for women. That's per day. So with some of those larger drinks, like those venti frappuccinos, you basically meet your entire quota of sugar for the entire day, plus some probably. And then with caffeine, so most of us can safely handle up to about 400 milligrams of caffeine each day. After that, you might get the jitters, have problems concentrating, or maybe it just, you know, you're not getting any benefit from that extra caffeine. So just for reference, a grande Starbucks Pike Place roast has about 310 milligrams. And if you're curious about the other beverages at Starbucks, they have all their the nutrition info on their website, and that includes the caffeine information as well. Next slide. So moving on to the west side of campus, there are a few options to mention at the cafe, which is located over in Annenberg. There's a really nice white bean and farro soup, a farro and kale salad, as well as a roasted chicken salad. And the dressing comes on the side for that salad, that chicken salad. Tudor Cafe is up next. And with those made to order salads, again, omit the fried crunchies, go light on the dressing. And they do a really great job over there of allowing customization for their salads and for that salmon bowl. So some of you might know they also serve Indian cuisine there. So what they'll let you do is they'll let you add in those Indian cuisine toppings to your salads or your bowls. So condiments like the pickled carrots and jalapenos, or the cucumber, which is basically just chopped cucumber, onion, and tomato. So that can definitely add a lot of flavor to your food. And then for those Indian curries, the healthiest one, in my opinion, would be the chana masala, which is also vegan. And I just recommend maybe asking for a little bit smaller portion of the rice, and then go with the white basmati rice, because the yellow one does contain oil and cream in it. And I have to mention, Tudor has my favorite coffee as well, because they do use intelligentsia. It is quite delicious. Next slide. So I know most of you are probably staff and faculty, but I can't leave off res dining. This is actually where I eat almost every day, and I don't ever have an issue finding something on the healthier side. You can check out all of the menus ahead of time on the hospitality website, and those menus do rotate. They're on a 4-week cycle menu. So there might be days where there are more options for you than others. So definitely check out those menus ahead of time. So since there are so many different foods here, it's the perfect opportunity to use that balanced plate method I mentioned earlier, because we have all of the components. There will always be lots of veggies, so you'll have no problem making half your plate veggies, a quarter grains or starch. Remember to choose whole grains whenever possible, and then a quarter protein. You've got your balanced plate. And the salad bars have a lot of options, including proteins like beans, boiled eggs, diced chicken, tofu, edamame, hummus, quinoa. So you can really make a satisfying salad that's more than just lettuce and tomatoes. And I'm really partial to the plant-based station over at the USC Village Dining Hall. The options they're very delicious, they're healthy, 100% vegan. And even if you aren't vegan, which I am not, I definitely encourage you to check that out, because it's just a really tasty food. Next slide. Okay, so of course I can't leave out HSC, our health sciences campus. I want to mention though, the hospitality does not operate the cafeteria inside the actual hospital, so that I cannot speak to. But we do have a few options, including Verde, which we also have here at the campus center on the UPC campus. Basically the same options that you saw on the slide before. However, this Verde has a few extra options, such as a veggie omelet at breakfast. They have a homemade chicken tortilla soup. They also have some grilled salmon soft tacos, which would be a great choice. The Plaza Marketplace has the salad spot, which has made to order salad that you can customize. Again, leave off the fried crunchies, light on the dressing. They also have some grab and go items like baked salmon with veggies, as well as salads too. And then Panda Express has similar items as the UPC location, but with the addition of a few extra Walk Smart items like black pepper chicken, kung pao chicken. And then of course there's Starbucks as well, and they do have similar items in terms of food over at the HSC campus as well. Next slide. So I want to point out the dietitian page on the hospitality website, because we have a lot of nutrition articles on there that might be helpful for you. They're written by myself or the dietetic interns that work with me. And there's also a dietitian portal on there where you can email general nutrition questions that go directly to me. So thank you so much. I'm now going to hand it off to David from USC Rec Sports.
Thank you, Lindsay. Great presentation. I don't know if I can get behind the coffee with no sweetener, but everything else was great. So yeah, I work for Rec Sports. I work in membership sales and services, and I'm going to go over a little bit about what we have to offer in Rec Sports, and then pass it off to some of my colleagues to talk about some of our fitness programs as well. So we operate all of the fitness facilities on both campuses, as well as providing programs and services to go along with those facilities. Some of our facilities are the Lions Center, which is on the corner of 34th and McClintock on the UPC campus. The Village Fitness Center, which is also on the UPC campus within the University Village, right by FedEx. There's the HSC Fitness Center, which is over in the HSC campus in the Soto building. There's the Aquatic Center, which is actually attached to the Lions Center. And we offer lap swim times at the Aquatic Center. We have Cromwell Track and Field, which at the moment, we are going to resume some track times. We usually do evening times there where you can run or walk on the track. And then we have outdoor tennis courts as well on the UPC campus that we offer the opportunity for individuals to drop in and use those. At the moment, all of our facilities except for the tennis courts are on a reservation system. So you would purchase a membership and then you would see different options for reservable times in each facility. The outdoor tennis courts are just first come, first serve when they're open in the afternoons or early evenings. Some other facilities or features within our facilities, we have racquetball court within the Lions Center. We have some dance studios, which some of which are open when they're not being used for the fitness classes. We have a spin room and F45 studio, which are used for fitness classes. We typically have basketball courts or multi-purpose court spaces that are used for basketball or volleyball or badminton, but at the moment those are being used as a vaccination site. So we're not sure when those will be back in our possession to use. But those are typically in the Lions Center as well. And then obviously we have free weights, cardio equipment. We have a cross training specific area within the Lions Center, which we is open for use when it's not being used for the fitness classes as well. We can go on to the next slide. Thank you. So here, and I think we're going to drop a PDF as well of this pricing sheet for memberships and services. So we have fall only options at the moment for memberships. We're going to resume our annual membership options in the spring. And we're going to do those on the calendar year moving forward. So we'll have like the packages that we had in the past. If you're familiar with those, where we would include like lockers and towel service and things of that nature into a package. We'll offer all of those options in the fall, or in the spring. So at the moment, we're just offering the fall options for all of our memberships and then all of our other services as well. At the moment, I know we've been getting a lot of questions on, what we are offering, what we're not offering. So just kind of a rundown of what's available right now. And obviously, as the semester progresses, these things can change as well with COVID and all the restrictions that we're going through. At the moment, we have reopened our showers in our locker rooms. Only our stalled showers are available. So we don't have quite as many showers available. We do have shower options. You would have to bring your own towel because at the moment we're not approved to resume towel service. We hope to get approval for that during the fall semester as well. We are not doing any pro shop sales or rentals of checkout equipment at the moment. So typically we check out like weight belts and things of that nature. We're not doing that at the moment, and we're not selling any drinks or toiletries or locks for the lockers, which we typically will sell at the pro shop as well. We hope to kind of gradually increase what we're able to do throughout the semester so we can offer more, get back to more of the normal products and services and things that we're able to offer. We can go ahead to the next slide. So some information. So once you purchase a membership, you would reserve a space on our MyRec Sports portal. Reservations open 48 hours in advance for any available times. That's the best place to look for available times. We do have our current hours listed here, which are varying a little bit. Our weekend hours are still not really completely set for the semester, and they also can vary depending on different things going on, such as football games on campus. And things of that nature. We are offering weekend hours. They're just not always the exact same hours each weekend and for each facility. So the best place, again, once you purchase your membership, is to check on the MyRec Sports portal, and you'll see what's available up to 2 days in advance. And then also, oftentimes, a lot of the spaces will book up very relatively quickly within that 48-hour period. But then oftentimes our policy is that people drop within 2 hours if they're not going to be able to make it to their reserved time. So for instance, typically in the mornings you can get on and you'll see that there's available times in the Lions Center. So while there may not have been the day before, a lot of spaces typically open up the day of. So you're able to kind of get on and see what's available for that day as the time progress. And then we also have increasing hours. We've increased hours a few times already this semester, so we're hoping to kind of get back to somewhat of our normal operating hours, and we're gradually increasing as we have more staff and more ability to open our facilities as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my colleague, Corinne Muldrum, who's going to talk a little bit about some of our fitness programs.
Great, thank you, David. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here to share some of our group fitness classes and how to sign up, and just kind of give you some details on what we have to offer, because we actually have over 100 classes a week going on right now, which is a lot, but our capacities are a little bit smaller. So the class sizes have gone down a bit. So it allows you a little bit more space. So same as reserving a spot to work out at the gym, you would go to myrecsports.usc.edu to sign up for group exercise classes 48 hours in advance. Then you would want to click on the whistle icon, which will get you to IM Leagues. And then through IM Leagues, you can see where to sign up. It'll have like sign up here, or you can add to the wait list. All right, next slide. So our current policies, we don't allow late entry. You also have to wear a mask for the entire session. We kind of encourage that you bring two, just, for comfort. And then we also just encourage you to bring your own exercise mat. We do have equipment. Any equipment we do use in the class has been cleaned before and after. And then because we don't have towel service currently, we suggest that you bring your own sweat towel and a water bottle. All right, next slide. And one of the classes that we offer, which is, F45, it's one of our most popular classes here. We actually offer 40 classes a week at the Lion Center. And you can see here on this flyer, it kind of gives you an idea. It is circuit training, so you are moving from station to station. We do have cardio days that are for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, more resistance-based days on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and a hybrid on Saturday, which is a mixture. So it's functional training in a circuit style, HIIT style. We also have a variety of classes, bar, cardio, kickboxing, full body resistance, dance classes, Pilates, TRX, yoga school, and Zumba. So to participate in these classes, you would have to have a membership to the facility, and then you would pay a $75 add-on fee to be able to have access to sign up to the 100+ classes a week. All right, next slide. So here is the Lion Center schedule. Like I said, the F45 classes, we have over 40 a week. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of times, and we actually added for the first time a 6:15 a.m. class. So if you need to get to work by 8, this might be a great option. And then we also have full body resistance classes that are smaller, kind of like a small group personal training class with just 6 to 8 people. So that is what we offer over at the Lion Center. And next slide to go over our classes at the Village, I believe. Yes, so the Village, we have a little bit more of the dance classes, cycling classes, yoga. We also are having yoga trapeze, which is today. We have 2 of these new classes, and you can be a beginner. We actually, encourage all fitness levels, because our instructors have the ability to modify, give you options, and even the yoga trapeze instructor has said that beginners are all welcome. So, getting deep stretches is great, and we're excited because we're trying new things and we're adding variety for you guys, because it is a stressful time. And, we want to encourage people to, get those endorphins, exercise, take care of themselves. And next slide. And lastly, HSC over at the Soto Gym campus, we just have a few classes going on there. It is a smaller gym. It's about a mile from a lot of the Keck Medicine hospitals and Norris Cancer Hospital. So, we just have a few classes offered there. And these you don't have to sign up for, you just show up at the class time. And then lastly, we have an option where if you are not back in person or you don't feel comfortable exercising in person, we offer online fitness classes for $20 a month through our Work Online Live partnership, which is a studio in Irvine that records in an awesome studio with producers live classes and on-demand classes for you. And we also have F45 online as well. So we have options if you're looking for online as well. Next slide. All right, and then I will pass it over to my coworker in fitness, Tommy.
Awesome. Thank you, Corinne. Hey, everyone. My name is Tommy, fitness specialist with recreational sports. So one of my main duties is to manage our personal training programs, and see here we have a breakdown of our sessions, session package costs and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in personal training, as it says here, visit recsports.usc.edu, click programs and classes, click personal training / private Pilates, and you'll see some options for ask a trainer. You'll see links for a link for personal training packets, prices, and our personal trainers and their PT bios. So here at the ask a I'll just move on. Yeah, so here at the Ask a Trainer, it gives you an opportunity to ask any fitness related questions, and all those questions go to me. So within 1 to 2 business days, I get back to you, answer any questions, tell you a little bit more about personal training at Rec Sports. So that's how the Ask a Trainer goes. Next slide. So to go in a little more detail of our session packages, we offer an assessment here, and assessment, like it says here, great way to identify strengths and weaknesses, to set realistic and attainable goals and measure progress. Assessments are really important for the trainer you're working with, because that gives your trainer a chance to analyze your posture, recovery heart rates, muscular endurance, flexibility. So those are all things that a trainer uses when programming your workouts based off of the information that you fill out in your personal training packet. And here are Jumpstart. So Jumpstart includes one of these assessments, and also one normal 1 hour personal training session. You and your trainer, like it says here, will discuss major muscle components, including general nutrition, advice geared towards your goals. And with the personal training packet here, going back to that, how it usually works is you can either send uscrecsports@gmail.com an email, or you can send me an email with your if you're interested in personal training. And once I see and get your email, that's when I send you a personal training packet, and that's a PDF fillable packet you can fill out online. So you fill that out, and then once you complete that, you email it back to me. I take a look at your packet, and based off of the information you provide in your packet, I'll match you up with one of our certified and or degreed personal trainers, or myself as well. Let's go next slide. Any questions at all, personal training?
Great. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Mhm.
So it looks like we have about 10 minutes left for Q&A. So feel free to put questions in the chat or the Q&A function, and our presenters will respond. So there's a question I saw in the chat earlier that I don't believe has been answered, and that is for the Rec Sports team. Are the facilities open to spouses and children? Someone want to answer that one?
Answer that. At the moment, so typically we do offer guest memberships, which would be what your spouse would fall under. At the moment, we're not offering new guest memberships, but we hope to resume those at some point as well, as we kind of gauge the usage that we're having with our students and our staff, faculty, and our alumni that we have right now. We do not offer memberships to anybody under the age of 18. So that's our policy. So if it was a child, they would fall under guest memberships, but that would only be if they were over the age of 18, they could purchase a membership.
Great. And while you're on the spotlight, David, can you also speak to day passes?
Yes. Okay. So and there was something else I wanted to answer too. So for day passes, we're not offering day passes at the moment. We're offering, our shortest term is a week pass. which for like staff faculty, really the best option is the semester pass at the moment, because the week pass is $40, the month pass is $75, and then your full semester is $100. So as far as like the cost benefit, it's better to do the full semester. But you do have those shorter term options if you wanted to try out the facilities and for that shorter term. Somebody also asked a question about the health incentive. So USC Benefits does offer a incentive that can be used towards these memberships if you're a benefited employee. So you can use that towards the memberships or the any of the programs like the USC Workout Pass. It's $220 for that incentive, and you would pay up front and then you can be reimbursed through USC Benefits. And then we haven't gotten information about next calendar year yet, as far as what that incentive is going to be or if it's going to continue to be offered. But at the moment, if you did a fall membership with us or purchase any of our products, that would fall under the current year, which is part of that benefit for the incentive.
Great, thank you, David. And here's another question for the rec sports team. Are the online classes through work all recorded, or are there any live class options like there were last year?
Yes, we do have the live class options. So they can, our F45 is all on demand. So F45 online is basically you can choose body weight or weighted exercises and press play, and it's all pre-recorded. But the Work Online Live is actual, you can take a live class with the instructor. And then, it's optional if you want to turn your camera on or off. And they're a very interactive live bunch, but they have amazing instructors and amazing fitness content. So that is available to you for $20 a month.
Great, thank you for answering that, Corinne. Another question for the rec sports team. Can we use the incentive to purchase an Apple Fitness watch?
I can't speak necessarily to everything that's included, but yes, that would be something that would be included. For any further questions, I'll reach out to USC Benefits. They'll have a full list. I think that some fitness equipment is included. Fitness devices are included, but beyond that and our memberships and things like that, I'm not 100% sure what else is on that list. So
yeah, you can visit the Employee Gateway under the Health Plans Fitness Incentive Program, and there's a list of eligible items that you can purchase and get reimbursed for. Okay, any questions for Lindsay? I know your portion got me hungry, hearing all those great options on campus. Was there anything that the panel wanted to highlight or to expand on, since we have a few more minutes and I don't see any other questions coming in? Is Cafe 84 coming back? I think that's for you, Lindsay.
That is definitely a blast from the past. It is not coming back. Well, I'm assuming when you say Cafe 84, I'm assuming you mean the dining hall. So I'm not sure exactly what the space is now. I don't believe it's part of USC Hospitality anymore. So I can't really speak to what will be going there in the future.
And I've seen this question a few times, so I think maybe multiple people are asking it about reserving time at Cromwell. This person doesn't see an option under rec reservations on the website. So David, do you want to reiterate your answer again?
yeah, so most of our facilities do require a membership. Cromwell is one facility that doesn't require a membership, but you have to be a staff faculty member to be able to use it, or a student as well, but you don't have to purchase the membership to use the track. It is not on the reservations at the moment because the facility is closed this week. So once we reopen, you'll see that facility be added back, and then you'll see the available times. We typically do hour time slots for the track, and you can come and utilize that time.
Are the hours for the track for people to walk and jog and run, are they posted on your website too?
They are not at the moment because we're in the process of changing some of those hours. They will be evening times. In the past, we've done like early to late evening times. And I know that we've offered morning times in the past as well, which we're not offering at the moment. But again, hopefully at some point we'll be able to kind of add back some of those extra times as well.
Okay, so once you have that confirmed, they'll be posted somewhere so faculty and staff can figure out a time they can walk at the track if they wanted to.
Yeah, the best place to look is on, if you go onto that portal website, the MyRec Sports site, log in with your net ID. You'll see if you even if you don't have a membership, once Cromwell's back on there under rec reservations, you'll see that facility, and then that's where you'll see the populated time. So it's a shared use facility with athletics. We share it with clubs and the band and a lot of other groups. So that's kind of the best place. We don't always have set hours, but that's the best place to see like those reservation times because they can change day to day depending on who else is using the facility as well.
Got it. So let's shift gears to Lindsay, and she would like to answer the question about can staff pay per use at the dining halls? Let's hear more about that.
Yeah, so definitely anybody is welcome into the dining halls. You don't have to have a meal plan. You can pay with credit card, debit card, discretionary funds, dining dollars. Breakfast is $10.75, lunch is $14, dinner is $14.25. And once you do get into the hall, it is all you care to eat.
Great, thank you, Lindsay. And another question for you, Lindsay. We've heard a lot of faculty and staff say that they are on campus and they want to choose healthy options, but it's oftentimes really crowded with students and they don't have enough time to go somewhere, get food and go back. Do you have any tips or guidance on maybe the best times where healthy options are available, but it's not so crowded, or maybe places that they can go to that's not so crowded with students?
Yeah. So definitely, if you go before the lunch rush, it's a lot less crowded. So definitely before noon, even if you can get lunch, if you can go and grab lunch around 11, it's a lot better. And the new campus dining app is not just for students. Staff and faculty, you are all welcome to use it as well. If you go into the App Store, I believe it's listed as Transact Mobile Dining, and then you just choose USC and you can link your USC card and use discretionary funds, credit card, debit card, and that way you can just order on the app. It tells you when your food is ready, and then you just go pick it up, and then you don't have to wait in the line to order, or you don't have to wait in line to use those new kiosks that they have. But definitely, yeah, the period between 12 and like 1:30, probably not the best times to go if you want to avoid crowds.
Great, thank you for that question, the answer. And I'm seeing something here around walking groups on campus, and I know David answered that in a Q&A that we are not aware of any formal walking groups or clubs on campus, but I'm hearing a lot of feedback about faculty and staff wanting to form walking groups. So that's something we can consider in the very near future, of course, following safety guidance and regulations. If there's enough interest from faculty and staff, we can maybe look at some sort of walking club or walking program on campus. So thank you for that suggestion. I think that let's see here. I think that covers all the questions that I can see. So I will go ahead and wrap us out in the last 1 minute we have left. And thank our presenters for today for all the wonderful, wonderful information that you shared. And hopefully all of you will now have the tools and the information to make healthy choices on campus, to eat healthy, and to move more. So we will be sending out a survey at the end of today's webinar to get your feedback, and also a PDF of today's presentation, as well as content information for all of the presenters. And then the recording will be posted on our Healthy Habits webinar page. And then finally, a preview for our very last session, our 8th and final session on September 23rd on living a sustainable lifestyle, presented by Elias Plate Bermeo in the Sustainability Office and Joshua Sierra, also in the Sustainability Office. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you so much and have a healthy day. And don't forget to eat healthy, and move more here at USC and at home. So thank you all.